Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to our show. We have gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the multiverse, two of the nerdiest geeks to be found. We proudly present the Professor and her geeky girlness herself, Ace. And now it's time. Geeky KOOL Presents Professor and Ace.
Everybody, welcome to episode 43 of Geeky KOOL Presents Professor and Ace. We are very excited today. We've got some special guests with us. Down below here is John, one of our writers for Geeky KOOL. Thank you for joining us, John. We appreciate it. And we asked, John is our Star Trek fan fiction expert. He writes some great articles about it, and we've got the director and a couple actors from a great fan film series.
Director?
Yep. So we're gonna talk about them, talk about the projects that they're working on now, and some of the other stuff that's already out there. And we're gonna have a great time. So hope you guys are ready. If you are watching us live, feel free to go ahead and comment. And we've got a couple of comments here already before we start. Kristen says hello.
Kristen's like our biggest fan, cheerleader, and executive producer all rolled into one. So, we wouldn't be here right now without her, and so we owe all of this to her at the moment. So she should be on here talking with us, but she's choosing just to be there in the comments to support us.
Well, we appreciate you watching, Kristen, and we appreciate what you're doing. So I want to throw it over to Josh to start off with. Josh is a writer and director, and tell us about the movie that you guys just got done filming, and about the whole series, and get us started with this.
Well, Avalon Universe is a Star Trek fan film series that is set in an alternate universe. So it's not the Star Trek Prime universe that you see in Star Trek. It's not the Kelvin universe that you see in the J.J. Abrams movies. It's its own unique universe that's neither one, maybe sort of somewhere in between. And this is a thing that gives us the flexibility to kind of tell our own stories, chart our own path, and not really be confined to canon or anything else that happens. It allows us to have fun crossovers with other fan filmmakers and to tell unique stories. We just finished shooting, and if you count them as, CBS makes you break these fan films into like 15-minute segments. So we just finished our 8th or our 9th fan film segment, and it's called Cosmic Stream. And it's going to be really interesting, different, kind of a departure from what we've been doing in the past. The cosmic stream, so to speak, is like a nexus, a hub of many different universes. It's like the whole essence of the multiverse in one place, all essence of being and form and thought and energy, all kind of rolled into one place. If you recall the Star Trek The Next Generation character, the Traveler, it's one of the higher planes of existence that he, kind of hung out in. And as such, this realm, the cosmic stream, is outside of space and time. So it's not part of time. So the past, the present, the future are all sort of the same thing there. And it's going to give us the opportunity to take a look into the lives of some of our characters and a look at their past and what brought them to where they are when we found them in our first film, Ghost Ship.
Very cool. So, Tyler, you've been a part of the project for a while, right? Since the beginning?
I was at the beginning. We did, I was in Ghost Ship parts 1 and 2, and then Josh and I were discussing the scheduling for the next film, and it wasn't really going to be possible for me to swing it. So, Josh, do you want to?
Well, I mean, we killed him.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
Yeah.
We didn't know if he'd be coming back or not.
Yeah.
So we just killed him, and it made for like a great, fun, dramatic. A lot of people say it's the best film we made, and it's a very dramatic, interesting. The film is called Avalon Lost, and there are going to be a lot of threads from Avalon Lost that tie into Cosmic Stream because, of course, that death is going to be a part of that story that we're going to tell. We're going to circle back to that and touch on some things that occurred maybe within the time frame of that film that we didn't see before.
Very cool. Now, Sharmila, you're in this as well. This, like, you weren't in Ghost Ship, were you?
No, this is my first episode.
Okay.
So
Joining the team, joining the crew.
Well, we got to see you guys on set Saturday. It was amazing, a lot of fun. How do you feel joining the crew?
Excited, very excited, and just doing this film, I'm excited for you all to see it. I'm excited to see it. It was a really well-written script, and I was excited from reading it straight off the bat, and just being in the different locations and being able to become the character was a lot of fun. It reignited a passion I thought I'd lost, and I'm just really happy to be here and be part of it and be on this journey. It's been a whirlwind.
Sharmila and I really got the chance to work together a little bit on a smaller project a few months ago for another fan film that's not Star Trek related, and I was really impressed with what she ended up doing with that project. Like, she edited it herself and took on all kinds of different creative challenges, and it was a neat opportunity for the two of us to get to know each other again, and I saw a lot of potential there. And I had wanted Sharmila to be involved a long time ago, and so it was finally an opportunity to make it work. And she's going to play a character in this that we've talked about in the Avalon Universe films previously. We've mentioned this character, not specifically by name, but the character has been referenced in sort of passing, like, oh, there was this person. And so we're finally going to meet the person that's sort of been, alluded to and sort of joked about a little bit. And she's a pretty serious character.
Well, I can say from being on set and watching a very dramatic scene, it was really impressive, the intensity that was in there for both of you guys. You both really brought it in the one scene that I'm thinking of in particular of where it's a very emotional time. And I think you guys know which one I'm talking about, but I was watching it as a former actor or somebody with a theater background, and I went, wow, they have tapped into that. That was a thing of beauty. And to watch you guys just do it again and again and again for different takes, different angles, it was just really impressive. So
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
I've been coaching him on taking on good acting, and he's really impressed me. He's really come a long way.
that's awesome. Well, we've got
his performance was pretty stunning in it. He really brought his A game, that's for sure.
it was a great performance from what I saw. So we've got a few more comments here, so let's bring these up. Several here from Kristen. So Kristen, when did you guys say that she was very important and how she's kind of the focal point of what brought this together, and
Yeah,
she loves you, as she should. So
We love you, Kristen.
we didn't ask her for this. We didn't. She offered.
which is amazing.
She said, I'd love to be a part of this, and she just sort of opened her heart to it and supported us in the journey. And that kind of thing is very rare. People don't normally do that. And she took a leap of faith, and she believed in all of us. And it's one of the most touching things that's personally happened to me in years. I don't know where I'd be right now emotionally if she hadn't done it. It was really amazing.
It's always great to have, especially when you're an artist and you're doing something.
Mm-hmm.
It's always great to have just those people behind you who are supportive. Even if it's just somebody going, you're doing a great job. But if you have somebody who can open up and help you get to where you want to go, that's so unique and hard to find a lot of the times. So I know as an artist that's when you find it, you grab hold of it and you're just like so appreciative of it. So I feel that.
So true. She also said that Isabel's watching.
Yes.
And
that's her daughter.
Isabel says hi.
Another featured actor in the film.
And I have to say, from working with many different sets and many different actors, Izzy is basically the best child you could ever work with on a set. They never work with children and animals. I haven't done the animals part yet. Well, no.
Lots of patience.
The penguins.
Oh yeah, I worked with penguins. They were a whole. But yeah.
We have worked with animals.
Child I've ever worked with on set, and
that's
love
awesome.
you, Izzy.
She was great.
Just how everybody is.
We're good.
Doing good.
We miss you.
Right. And I've seen the picture there, which is cute. We'll have to. We also have Keith, who's one of our regulars and a good friend of our site. He also has a great site. Maybe he would be willing to get you guys on also. I'm hopeful so. But Keith also says, booyah.
Nice.
Keith's over Keith's over at Pop Culture Minefield with Gary, and they're just amazing. So
yeah, they are. They're
Keith,
great guys.
Get these guys on your show for me.
And Kristen also said, "Aw." So all right.
That is wee.
Wee.
No way.
So, what background do you guys have? Josh, did you go to school for directing? And what's your background there? And tell us a little bit about where you guys come from with all this.
Well, yes, I did. I am a film school graduate. I attended film school in Orlando, Florida.
Wow.
I learned. I became kind of a jack of all trades when it comes to filmmaking. I learned directing. I learned lighting. I learned camera. So, I kind of dabble in a lot of the different aspects of it. I write most of the material that I do. I film a lot of it, and that's that was the with Ghost Ship, it was just me and the actors, me, a camera, and actors. And, I don't really prefer to do it that way, but out of necessity, I have for a long time. And the hope was you do Ghost Ship and prove to the world that you can do this, that you can deliver a film, and then do some crowdfunding and have kind of a bigger crew to assist in directing the next one. And so this time around with Cosmic Stream, I did have a very, very supportive crew. I was able to bring a very good friend that I've known for 30 years in to be my director of photography and camera operator. And he actually graduated from the same film school I did. Wow. And he did a fantastic job. And then Sharmila brought a wonderful friend of hers who also helped behind the camera, Pixie. And, we had another friend that was, again, somebody I've known since I was a kid that came and did audio with his daughter. And we just had this really wonderful supportive crew. We shot at Warp 66 Studios in Harrison, Arkansas. And that's a facility owned by Dan Reynolds and Glenn Wolfe. And Dan and Glenn helped out with the shoot immensely. We'd be completely lost without them. Dan's wife, Kelly, was our script supervisor. And so there was just a wonderful synergy on set of great people. And I think that the greatest gift of this whole thing was that Kristen told me after the shoot that she was standing outside and could hear our laughter through the walls. And, she could tell we were having a good time. And I feel like when a film crew has a good time doing what they're doing, making their passion, that's what creates the art at the highest level. Now, I've always said that I'd rather have a lot of fun making the project and make a crappy movie than like have it be really depressing and make a really great movie. But I have been striving to find the balance between the two lately.
And what about you two?
Your background?
Oh, yeah. I went to school for acting. I do all sorts of creative things. My two main things I did at college were acting and art, and I've been doing that all around the UK. I moved here in 2019. I've been stuck working for Walmart for a bit, but I'm finally able to do some creative things over here as well, which is really exciting. So it's always the dream, isn't it? Be here with my husband and be doing amazing things that I'm passionate about.
You know, we've got a really interesting opportunity ahead because we're all gonna work together. Kristen is starting a film company called Apex, and Apex is the entity that produced Cosmic Stream and is going to produce Avalon Universe from here on out. And we're also going to be doing a lot of other non-Star Trek type projects, you know, for-profit films.
I figured I'd save my background for last because it's the least impressive. But I am not formally trained. I don't have a degree or a formal education in theater or acting or filmmaking or anything like that. I played pretty much the lead role in like all my like elementary school productions, and did a bit Shakespeare in junior high, and then in high school I just really got out of it. Wasn't really involved in any kind of acting. And then about 10 years ago, I saw my brother posted on Facebook, "Hey, the auditions went great tonight. They're still going on tomorrow night." And I'm like, "Whoa, auditions for what?" And I'm like, "My brother's going to act in a play. Hey, I can do that." You know? So I asked him, I was like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Oh, it's Hello, Dolly." And I was like, why not? So I went and I auditioned, and my brother got the role of Cornelius and I got the role of Barnaby. And so it was a great dynamic there, and I had a lot of fun doing it. We rehearsed for a couple of months and then did 7 shows, and I just really got the fever for it, and started, connecting with other people in the, local film community that were, doing films and projects, and I reconnected with Josh, and he was like, I've known Josh since I was 12, and I think he was 11. We actually met in a Star Trek fan club, the Starfleet International, our local chapter of Starfleet International. So anyway, he calls me up one night. I don't remember if you called or messaged me on Facebook, but they're like, "Hey, I'm making this little movie. How'd you like to be? Do you want to be the special agent or the military black market arms dealer guy?" And I was like, "Ooh, I want to be the bad guy." So,
yep.
So we made this picture of that on your Facebook somewhere, don't you? Like one of your first pictures.
So we made this really terrible little, charmingly bad and fun to watch film called.
You're not meant to say it's bad. You meant to say it's amazing.
I ran into one of the other actors years later.
Bad. So,
About 5 or 6 years later, I was working at Sears, and I ran into one of the actors who was in it, who I hadn't met because I wasn't on screen with him. But he had like an action scene where he's the bully and he gets beat up by the good guy. And anyway, I recognized this guy, and I was like, "Hey, you're," when I said his name, and I'm like, "Yeah, you were in." The name of the film is Tough to Kill. I was like, "You were in Tough to Kill." He goes, "Yeah, more like Tough to Watch."
Tough to watch. Tyler's being modest because he's actually one of the most talented actors in our area and one of the most talented actors I've ever worked with. So, and his thing, the thing that he and I do together, we do impressions and impersonations, and he's very talented at that. And if you ever listen to a phone call between the two of us, it's just the two of us doing impressions and impersonations the whole time.
That's awesome. Well, and I will say, it doesn't matter if you're officially trained or not, Tyler, right? Having come from having an acting minor, there are people that knew how to do everything practically correct, but couldn't act their way out of a bag. So, if it hits you, it hits you. Go with it, man. Don't worry about credentials. That doesn't matter.
me, I couldn't act my way out of like a speeding ticket. I'm not even lying. I'm terrible. I'm just like such a brutally honest person, and I can't even put myself into another person's mindset. So no, I have all the respect for people who do that. And so, like when we were downstairs and you were trying to get into like the crying thing, I was like,
yeah,
good for her. Like,
that's why she couldn't talk to you. She said she felt bad. She's like, I feel bad. I invited them, to come to this thing, and then I can't even talk to them because I'm,
in her mindset. No,
yeah.
It was fine. I completely understand. Yeah. We're just gonna have to get lunch sometime when we can actually talk. Yes. That's how it is. Yeah. Oh, do we have any like clips or anything, Professor?
Oh, we do. John, you got anything you want to throw in while we get that ready?
Well, I got a question for Josh. I know
Sure.
you directed and helped out with Jonathan Lane's film Interlude, which is in post-production.
Right.
Are you going to take the Avalon Universe and go and film on the Ares Bridge?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yes.
You should mention that.
Yeah, we absolutely are. We actually already have. We already have. We did something with Alec for this upcoming film. And but there is another film that we're going to do next after Cosmic Stream that is going to be a tie-in to Axanar. And it's going to be, if you've seen our Avalon Universe films, there's one called Legacy that features a character named Allison Thielen who serves on an Ares class ship. And we learn in Legacy that her mother was the captain of that ship. And so the next project that we're going to do is we're actually going to meet that character's mom and see the quote unquote legacy she left her daughter. We're going to touch on who she was and the battles that she a very heroic battle she fought in the 4 Years War but it's not going to be the 4 Years War of Axanar. It's going to be the 4 Years War in the Avalon universe. So it's going to be slightly different. And Alec's girlfriend, Crystal Hubbard, is going to be the star of that film. Alec will also be in the film, and I'm hoping to also see Warren Hawk as Captain Jakande.
Yeah, I was going to say, fortunately, Alec Peters loves Avalon Universe and, has been very supportive of us. And, of course, we love Axanar, and Alec's a great dude. So, it's really cool to have that relationship.
So you guys filmed for this one. Was that the location in Georgia you guys went to?
No, we actually the first day of shooting we went down to Neutral Zone Studios in Kingsland, Georgia, which is the sets where Star Trek Continues were filmed. And we filmed our first 2 days there. And then kind of on our way back, we stopped in Atlanta and filmed with Alec for his part in the film. And then we came back to Arkansas. And we filmed the last 2 days at Warp 66 Studios here in Arkansas.
Very cool. Very cool.
Right. Josh, which clip would you like me to play first for our audience?
Well, let's start with, there's basically an Avalon Universe trailer. That there's a lot in it, but that's a trailer that I made last year. That it's our channel trailer for our YouTube channel that really kind of encompasses all that it is in some ways.
All right, I think it's this one. Tell me if I got it wrong, and we'll pull up the other one if it's wrong, and.
Yeah, that was it.
All right.
What's interesting about that is that the Avalon universe is a universe. So lots of characters, lots of stories to be told. It does sort of center around the starship USS Excalibur in that universe because, of course, Avalon is the island where Excalibur was forged. And there's some footage in there from a couple of films that have been filmed but not released yet. And the original Avalon Universe theme song at the end, which was composed by the husband of one of our actors, Tori Archer, her husband Nicholas McFarlane, composed that theme, and then a really well-known fan film composer, Adam Mullen, kind of expanded upon it and has created a new version that we've been using recently.
Or it could be an infinite loop. Or it could be an infinite loop.
Could be a loop, yes.
I was like,
I think we got it fixed. All right. So, all right. Well, that was awesome. And yeah, would you like? Shall we show another one?
Okay. So, yeah. So go with the zombie clip.
Avalon Lost.
No. Go the other one.
We've been kind of busy.
Yeah, that one.
All right. Here we go.
I think this thing is what's keeping the antimatter containment field stable. If we shut down the reaction, we'll have to eject the antimatter containment pods as well.
Warning, antimatter containment field's failing. Containment strength at 8%. Initiating emergency warp reactor core shutdown.
What was that?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you, I got attacked by one of those things down in auxiliary control, too.
You forgot.
Well, we've kind of been busy.
That's great.
So that was one of the first things we ever filmed. I think it was the very first film. Yeah. And, what's fun about that is that's going to be a thread that's, of course, touched upon in Cosmic Stream, because if you go back and watch Ghost Ship, there was this alien entity that had taken control of the ship, and it was an energy-based life form. And so we're going to see that type of life form again in Cosmic Stream because they have a role in what's going on there. But the interesting thing that I wanted to point out was this thing where, okay, we have this scene earlier in the film where Captain, or at that point Commander Mason, fights a zombie, and then he doesn't tell anyone he fought a zombie. He just doesn't bother to mention it to anybody. And then when he gets down to engineering, they get attacked by zombies again. He's like, oh yeah, I got attacked by a zombie earlier. And they're like, what? And it's one of those scenes that, like, people either got the joke or they didn't. They're like, why wouldn't he tell? Why wouldn't he tell the rest of the crew that he fought zombies? That's so dumb. And
my computer doesn't have a camera.
It's a joke.
I just thought it would be funny if he just didn't mention it. And then
Right.
Just like, yeah. I know people like that.
We've got a couple of comments. We've got a comment from Dan Reynolds here.
All right.
Yeah.
Dan's a great guy. I mean, we couldn't do this without him. And he and Kelly worked really hard to make the shoot what it was. And we had a really great time with him. And they do their own fan film series. Dan, Kelly, and Glenn do a fan film series called The Federation Files. Lots of fun. Check it out.
We'll put a link down below, guys, for The Federation Files. Very good. And we've got Kristen replying there to Dan.
All right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
we only got her out to the bridge set. We need to show her the rest of it.
Yes, that other location.
Well, I did get to go down and look at the shuttle. That was a really cool set. I like that.
Yeah.
There was nothing going on down there, but got to see it. That was really awesome. So,
Well,
the bridge
shuttle-
set's amazing.
Yeah.
The shuttle has a lot to do with that next clip.
Yeah, the sets are phenomenal. So
They are.
like they were just so well done, and in that building, you go into it, you just don't expect to find that. Like you walk in and you're like, oh yeah, I'm in Star Trek. So.
Well, there's a lot of interesting fan film history with those sets. They weren't originally constructed for, or some elements of them weren't originally constructed for Federation Files or Avalon Universe. The bridge that you guys were on was originally built for one of the most famous Star Trek fan series of all time, which is Star Trek New Voyages. With James Cawley. Every episode of Star Trek New Voyages was shot on that bridge set. When James Cawley converted his filming sets into a set tour, which is, you can just go tour the sets and pay money and go tour the sets in Ticonderoga, New York, he decided to build a new bridge completely from scratch. And so he kind of let Glenn and Dan take possession of that bridge, which they moved from Ticonderoga, New York, and then reassembled there at Dan's facility.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah. All right, which clip should we play next for you?
Let's do the Avalon Lost clip.
All right, here we go.
Sure you want to do this? I can pilot the shuttle. I mean, at least we should flip a coin.
It's my command and my decision. Go.
Commander, we have to go.
I just need more time.
It's an order, Commander.
It's final.
I have a lock. Shuttle Avalon. We have a positive signal and a lock. Stand by for transport.
Amanda. Energize. Diverting life support to thrusters. Here we go. One last big push. You can do this.
Containment failure. Imminent.
Lance, I couldn't get him out.
So that's Captain Mason's death scene.
I wanted to do one take where I was like, and I didn't tell you about it, so we didn't get to it. But I wanted to do one take where I was like, one last big push. You can do this. Ah!
Well, that's a moment that's going to be revisited outside of space and time in the cosmic data stream. So we'll be going back to it again.
Did you give them the teaser trailer for that?
I did.
The teaser.
All right, let's throw that up here next.
Very brief.
That intense look, though.
That was amazing. Yeah. Like, wow, what's going on?
Look, I get when I'm in trouble.
Why do I feel like that's actually accurate? I don't give looks like that. I wish I could. My looks are like I roll my eyes a lot. In my relationship, I'm just like, okay, and I just roll my eyes a lot.
We have characters for that too.
You know, speaking of eye rolls, there's a really great eye roll in this film. One character does an epic black belt level eye roll that I was a creative choice that actor made, and I'm really excited for that moment because it's like one of my favorite parts of the film.
So epic to the point where we've made it a GIF and it's now in our conversations.
And it's a Patreon item.
It is. We are launching an Avalon Universe Patreon, and receiving black belt level eye roll videos is one of our perks.
That's awesome.
Sign me up. She's like, we will. That's wonderful. So yeah, you guys are launching the Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
When is that? When are you thinking that'll be ready?
I think that it's live right now. We just haven't really been sharing it because we created. You know, I created it one night and I was like, okay, we need some tiers and we need some perks, and I created some rather silly perks that I wasn't sure were going to be permanent or not. But
just take the second one as a joke for now.
Well, so it is kind of a joke, but it kind of isn't because, you know, we were joking because we were all talking about like we're going to go, you know, get a gym membership and work out together, and Tyler's not very fond of Planet Fitness. Well, and so I suggested that we all get Planet Fitness memberships, and then it kind of spiraled out of control. And I was like, you know, that could be a Patreon perk, is that, you know, you could get a live Planet Fitness workout with Tyler. And
well, we're joking about Kurt Benedict's fitness workout video called Steel Stomachs from is that the late 80s or like 90, 91?
I think it's like 89.
Oh, was it? Okay. Oh, you're familiar with it. Oh, wow. God.
I'm familiar with a lot of things from the 80s.
Yeah, so we were talking about me doing like those type of workouts, and just to watch. Some of the exercises are just so silly looking. And
what's probably going to end up happening is that it's going to be a situation where it'll be like a live Q&A with Tyler, and the actual workout might just be that he, you know, lifts his, you know, tea mug or something.
That's my kind of workout there.
Aries Studios, by the way. Thank you, Alec Peters.
That's awesome. The Patreon link is down below, guys, in the YouTube video. So check that out. You can go in there, click on that link, and get over to the page. So you guys can definitely check it out and be a Patreon and help these guys out.
Avalon Universe is a big thing. A lot of people have worked really hard to make it what it is. It exists because of the efforts of a wide gamut of people who have contributed in lots of different ways. Lots of actors, one of our other captains, which is Captain Ramirez, played by Chuck Murray. He's a real standout. He exemplifies in some ways what this is about. He not only played his character, but he, created props. He choreographed fight scenes. He ran the camera at certain points in time. He literally did everything. He did some Klingon makeup. He did everything you could possibly think of. And that's what makes these types of fan films happen, is people like that work hard and contribute. This year, we're not really going to be focusing on the Excalibur storyline a lot this year in 2021. We're going to kind of go explore some other stories in the Avalon universe, because the next USS Excalibur themed story is something that's going to be really, really big. And so it's not something that we can do right now because we want to have a bigger crew. We want to make it a bigger production. And also, one of our actors is very, very pregnant right now. So we wanted to give her the chance to have her baby and enjoy that process and have some time with her baby. And then, maybe 6 months after, she's had that experience and she's settled into being a mom, we can then, take a look at doing this bigger production when COVID's, finally a thing of the past and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to tell some smaller stories. We've got three that have already been filmed last year that we're going to release over the course of the next couple of months. Then we've got Cosmic Stream that's probably going to make its appearance in about May. We have a second film a smaller film, like I talked about with a crossover with Axanar, that we're going to shoot this summer. And then we have a fun third film that we're going to do on the back end of the year, which will involve a field trip out to the desert in Nevada, and some cave shooting, and another new character that we're going to meet that we've never seen before. And so then we're going to, once everything is back where it needs to be, we're going to circle back and touch base with the Excalibur crew and leave and see their experience with the cosmic data stream.
That's awesome.
Lots of
That's a great plan. Yeah. Lots to check out there, guys. So make sure you go out to their YouTube site, which is listed down below. See what's out there and make sure you subscribe so you can get updated as things are added in. We do have a few more comments. We've got comment from Paul for you.
Well, thank you, Paul.
And Kristen also says...
Oh, that was in relation to the eye rolls.
Oh, I thought she was talking about the set.
So we also have, it's going to come up as Geeky Cool, but it's actually Keith that we were talking about earlier.
Keith. There you go.
Yeah, we'd love to.
We're on. Count us in.
So
if I
Keith,
had a sucker to put in my mouth.
We'll get you their contact information, Keith.
Also, just saying, Pop Culture Minefield is not PG or PG-13, so words can come out.
We can do that too.
We can do that.
Well, I'm going to say, I think a few of those words may have been said on set. I don't know.
There's some outtakes he'd enjoy then.
I guess Isabel's going to bed, or
it's funny. Like there's a thing. If you look on YouTube, where some fans have taken outtakes from Star Trek: The Next Generation and edited them back into the episodes. It's called intakes. And so I kind of plan to do something like that, where I take some of these outtakes and I edit them in with the context of the episode, like it just happened like that. I had one that I just edited a film for Vance Major, another big name in Star Trek fan films. You need to check him out. Constar Chronicles, cool dude. He just released a film called Wasteland. Oh, somebody made ESPN. He just released a film called Wasteland that I edited for him, and I'm actually in it too, and my character's name is Rogers. And so another character is like trying to get a hold of me, and he's like, "Computer, get me Mr. Rogers." And I did a version where Mr. Rogers pops up on his screen, and he actually carries on a conversation with Fred Rogers instead of me. And he's planning on putting that out as well. So
speaking of your guys' outtakes, you have a TikTok, right?
Yeah.
TikTok and stuff like that. I know you guys post all kinds of things. Hold on, I have somebody at my door.
All right, she'll be back to ask. Let me put a few more comments here from our viewers.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
And Keith said that he'd be on his best behavior, but it's not usually Keith we have to worry about. Keith just usually
I don't know that we will be.
Well, yeah, we'll be on bad behavior if that's allowed.
Yeah, there you go. It is definitely allowed.
I'll be on British behavior, so.
We will love that. So,
well, with regards, so you asked about the TikTok.
Yes.
And the TikTok was Sharmila's idea, along with the Instagram, and I think we have a Twitter now as well. Yeah. And she's the one who's championing that. She's doing the hard work there. That's one thing I want to point out about Sharmila for a minute, is that she's one of the people that didn't just appear and started acting. She like really took charge behind the scenes as well. She's been like doing all of our social media since we did this. She's been helping out with costuming. She's been doing makeup and hair. I mean, she's become like the absolute unsung hero of what we're doing now. And I couldn't be more impressed or just touched by the effort that she's put into it.
That's awesome.
Thank you. I got makeup on. You can't tell what I'm blushing.
Oh, I thought you said I got makeup on you.
Oh,
You
no.
said you got makeup on me.
She did get makeup on him.
So
Oh yeah, we have to put makeup on this to make it
True.
not red.
What's up, buddy?
he just got back from the grocery store. That's who I
Oh.
know.
Oh, how you doing, man?
Doing all right. How you doing?
You're doing great.
Tyler.
Good to see you.
You too, man. Anyway, just thought I'd poke in and say hello.
He does.
Cool. Good to see you.
Like,
that happens on the show quite a bit.
yes. Last week, though, I wasn't able to be on here. I had an interview and all kinds of things to do for the newspaper. So he actually took my place.
You did?
and was on there. That's what's great about having two of us. You don't have to like cancel. One of us can do it.
There you go.
He didn't get
true.
us a riddle. That should be his shtick. Like every episode, we get riddled.
Oh,
That would be great.
Give him a riddle.
Yeah.
Tyler says you need a riddle. Oh wait.
Oh boy.
You gonna get the hat on?
I heard the magic word.
Yeah, I said that should be a thing. Like every episode, you should riddle us. You should,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
a riddle.
Switch my brain off for the night.
Okay, here's one that I actually made up. Be you man or machine, I am your enemy. I will invade and conquer with the mind of a hive. Once inside, I will expand exponentially. The only way to stop me is before I arrive. What am I?
There's lots of not PG.
Be you
things
man
coming to
or
my
machine?
mind.
Yeah. Be you
I'm
man
not
or
going to say anything.
Listen, he gave me this on our first date, and I got it, and I think that's why he started. Like, we kept dating. I feel like
I have no idea.
A virus.
A virus.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Machine? Oh, because of computer.
Brilliant.
Okay. I was
Yeah,
thinking,
no.
well, but my microwave's a machine. It can't get a virus.
If it is Wi-Fi, it can.
Okay. Fair enough.
Wait, you can get Wi-Fi microwaves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Everything has Wi-Fi now. My ad
Yeah.
has Wi-Fi.
I'm poor. Nothing has Wi-Fi but my Wi-Fi. So I'm just my phone. My phone has Wi-Fi.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We got a few more comments. Let's throw these up here for you guys real quick. Kristen, want to talk about Vance there?
Vance is the king of funny. He
And
really
Keith,
is.
Keith has a question for you guys. What's your favorite episode of Star Trek? The original Star
I
Trek.
love how he's like,
Original
"Am I
series.
the original?"
No, fair. I grew up watching TNG, so I don't think I'm qualified to answer this question.
Well, you tell us your TNG one also. Yeah.
The
It's the same universe.
Sherlock Holmes, because I'm very mildly obsessed with Sherlock Holmes.
Me
That's
too.
a good one.
Oh, I
My
love
I
favorite
just saw that
TNG
episode again.
My favorite TNG is yesterday's Enterprise, but to answer Keith's question, TOS, for me, it's Trouble with Tribbles.
Good one.
I've been told I need
Yeah.
to see that.
The true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you need to see it.
Yeah, or
What was yours?
Mirror Mirror.
Yeah.
Okay, so with me, the question is a little complicated because there's a difference in my mind between if you were to ask me, what's the best episode of Star Trek, the original series,
That is
and what's your
different.
favorite?
That's two different questions. So, because sometimes the best is not your favorite.
Right.
So answer
Very
both.
good. I think the best episode of Star Trek: The Original Series is City on the Edge of Forever.
Yes.
That's a wonderful. Yeah.
My favorite episode of the original series is Return of the Archons, which is the Will of Landru.
That's awesome. No, I agree with you, Josh. Like sometimes when people ask me what my favorite is, I have to specify, do you want the best or do you want the favorite? Because sometimes your favorite is, I mean, I'm a huge Doctor Who fan from like the early days. And so
Right.
sometimes I'm like, it's not the best, but it's my favorite.
Right.
Well, Josh, do you want to mention the TOS episode that's most relevant to Avalon Universe?
Of course. The TOS episode most relevant to Avalon Universe is The Ultimate Computer. Because, and really, before you watch any Avalon Universe films, before Ghost Ship, you should probably go watch that one. Because that's the episode it's based on. That's sort of where the, if you go with the, for example, the J.J. Abrams movie, the very first 2009 movie, there's an event where the two universes diverge and they go their separate directions, and that's the battle with the USS Kelvin. With Avalon Universe, the point of divergence is right after the battle between the 4 Federation starships and the M5 computer, where the M5 computer destroyed the USS Excalibur and killed all of its crew. The ship just kind of left drifting in space, but everyone on it died. And so in the Prime universe, it just sort of drifted and, no problem. But in the Avalon universe, something else happened. This alien, this energy-based alien boarded the ship and began using its warp core as a fuel source, a food source. And that life form came from the cosmic data stream, from this place that's in a higher dimension. And the act of entering into the physical universe from the cosmic data stream is what caused the two universes to diverge. It kind of created a new universe in the act of crossing down into the lower plane. And what's interesting in this case is that the temporal incursion, the meddling with space-time, it affected the Avalon universe like throwing a rock into a pond where the ripples tend to go in both directions or all directions. So it didn't just affect the Avalon universe after that battle, it affected it before that battle as well. So that was sort of the point of change and divergence with the Avalon universe. We're actually gonna canonize that in the film. We're gonna actually explain that.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome that you can tie it back to like one particular point in the original series and people can figure that out. I love that. I love
Thank
all
you.
the details. Detail girl.
I'm a walking Star Trek encyclopedia. It's so bad that it's almost shameful. And my biggest thing, that I've been doing so far with these films is I'm all about these Easter eggs. So there's all kinds of Easter eggs and Star Trek references just all over these things. And I'm actually going to make fun of that in one of the films this year. Like I'm literally going to poke fun at that in a very specific place that's already been planned, that all these Easter eggs are going to be made fun of at a very specific character moment.
Oh, that'll be fun. I look forward to seeing that.
Because you have to kind of make fun of yourself every now and then.
And I make fun of myself on a daily basis. So it's all good. I like that, though. I like that even though, you film some things that are very dramatic and have like a lot of an emotional moment. We were there for one of those, that you guys seemed on set to really have fun and enjoy everything that you were doing, and that was it was like magical. It was wonderful. So it's anytime you can enjoy what you're doing, just keep doing it.
That's why we're doing it. I mean, that's the biggest reason we're doing it. We're not doing it to make money. I've lost $30,000 doing this. The point of it is to just have a good time.
$30,000 doing it, right?
I'm $30,000 lighter. We'll put it that way.
Listen, being an artist costs money. I don't care what anybody says. Like, everybody's always like, "Oh, you're an artist. How much money do you make?" I was like, "Well, you lose, but it's okay. You still create something. You put something out into the world, so that's always good."
But the point is that that's not why we're doing it. We're doing it because we love it and we want to create these memories with our friends. Yeah. And I think that when something has the range to, okay, you're serious sometimes, but you're lighthearted and fun in other times. You got to have that range. You know what I mean? You can't just be dramatic and crazy all the time, and you can't always be lighthearted and fun all the time. You have to find a balance. And the best shows, Deep Space Nine, Stargate, SG-1 have always found those balances, and that's something that we're really going to be working for going forward.
That's awesome. Well, does anybody have
I agree.
Well,
one of my
what were you going to say?
We do. I was going to say probably my favorite moment of being there, and I actually I was a little schoolboy going crazy watching this. This what really took me back to my acting days was the little 20-minute break you guys took to run lines, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such an actor thing. I was sitting there going, oh, I miss acting. Oh, this is great. So it was. So I was having a great time watching all of that. Watching all the way the set worked, the way the filming was done, the way the crew was just basically in sync with each other. It was an amazing thing to watch, guys. So
that scene that you saw us running lines for.
So let me throw up some pictures.
You can keep talking.
Yeah.
Tyler,
the scene that you saw us running lines for, was a very, if I remember correctly, was a very intense and very emotional, intense scene. And I asked Josh to for permission to do one final take. He was like, "Okay, no, that's it. All right, we got it. Moving on." And I was like, "Josh, can we do one more?" Where we pretty much just improv'd it and just hammed it up, and we can show that to you guys. It's not appropriate for this
it might
stream.
Be appropriate. He might enjoy that.
But after after the film's released, you'll be able to see it.
That's awesome.
That would be
awesome.
Good time. But he's he's not allowed to do his Tyler shenanigans until the drama has been caught.
Yeah.
He has had there's actually a TikTok up of it while I'm in a really intense, literally my makeup is destroyed because I'm crying so much. And he's like, I want to do one thing.
Yeah, and I do this just goofy, ta-da, really stupid thing. And I'm like, okay, I just want to do that. And she's just like,
I
raises a certain finger.
I really
told him to read between the lines.
Yeah.
I watched that and I was like, oh, Tyler's so got into trouble.
He hasn't heard the end of it.
but again, that's why we do this. That's what the whole point of it is just to enjoy it. I mean, one of my favorite moments when we were down there filming in at Neutral Zone was there was this moment where we had to see smoke coming out of the Jeffries tube, all this smoke coming out of the Jeffries tube. And it took us 20 minutes to figure out how to do it. And I ended up having to crawl up inside the Jeffries tube with the smoke machine. And then another guy had to get in there with a box fan and blow, the box fan on just the right setting. And then I had to get the smoke machine going at just the right time. And I'm just I'm standing in this tube with a smoke machine. What else am I going to be doing today? This is great. That's the things you always remember.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That's awesome.
And then they
let me throw some comments up.
Oh, no. Vandalized my car at the end of the show.
I saw that picture. Yeah. Well, let me throw out some more comments out here real quick, guys. We'll put some pictures up for you guys. So from Adam, come on, Adam. There we go.
Well, we're looking forward to doing more stuff with you. Adam's amazing because he's really fast. The thing with Adam is that you okay, I got this film. Here's the film. We love this kind of music. And he's the next day, here's your soundtrack. you're like, what?
That's
And then
you.
you listen to it, and it's just awesome. Like he really killed it with Aaron Darkness. I mean, dude is super talented, and yeah, we're gonna be definitely be doing more films with him.
That's awesome. When you get good
That's
product
awesome.
at a quick speed, it's always good.
Oh,
Let's
that's always a blessing.
Look, she's
All right.
Just
Keith
follow
also said,
what was the first episode you knew?
what's the first Star Trek episode you remember watching?
Okay, who wants to go first?
I can describe it. I think I was somewhere between 3 and 5 years old, and I think I've since seen the whole thing, but I just have vague memory of it. I don't know the name of it. I don't remember which season it was. I just know they go down to a planet, and then there are these flying creatures that land on the characters' backs, and then like Spock or one of the main characters is like jacked up for the duration of the episode. They're like trying not to die. I don't know.
Operation Annihilate season 1 finale.
Okay.
he's like, I'll
Judge's like, yeah, I got this.
he's like, oh my goodness.
I was even out of town. I remember, like, traveling on vacation with my mom or so. I don't know. And it was late at night. Anyway,
I'm not qualified to answer this. TNG was all that was on TV.
but you have seen TOS.
Well, what do you remember with TNG? What?
No, I haven't. I was poor when I grew up, so I only had TV and 5 channels, and that was it. So that's it.
Listen, I feel you. I had 2, and I had to go turn the antenna to get to, depending on what show I wanted to watch.
You get that. But with TNG, all I remember is off the first episode is that Troy and Riker were together, and all I just remember thinking is Troy is hot.
Did she call you Melissa?
Melissa.
AJ did. Called her Melissa.
No.
We
were talking about Ariels.
No, okay. I thought you said Melissa. I totally
He's
understand
hearing me.
okay. All right. I'll shut up. Sorry.
He's causing drama again.
Josh, first episode you ever saw?
Oh, Chris.
First TOS episode I remember seeing is Let That Be Your Last Battlefield. But the first episode of Star Trek period that I ever saw was the animated series on Nickelodeon. More Trouble, More Tribbles.
Yep.
When I was 5. And then, of course, my parents took me to see Search for Spock in the theater. And I remember being 7 or something, and my parents were away, and I was staying with a family friend, and we had the VHS tape of Star Trek 4, and she put the family friend that was babysitting me put in the tape of Star Trek 4 for me to watch, and the first thing, of course, that popped up was Star Trek The Next Generation is beaming aboard the airways with all new adventures from the 24th century. And I watched Encounter at Farpoint the first time it ever aired, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite episode of TNG is Frame of Mind.
Frame of Mind.
Oh, nice.
That's a very interesting episode for like, especially being an actor, for like from an actor's perspective. It's a great episode.
Were you going to say something, Professor?
I was just going to say my first episode of Star Trek I remember was the one with Apollo, the one where they'd be on the planet with the. I think it was Apollo, wasn't it? That was the god that was there.
Yeah, it was
that had
Apollo.
been worshipped prior. Yeah. So I just remember that, and that's what got me actually hooked into it. So yeah.
I always mispronounce the name of that episode, but I'm not going to get into why. Tyler knows.
He looks like he doesn't.
Story.
You'll have to remind me because like later, I guess.
It's going to involve something you're not going to want to talk about.
Oh, jeez. No, I got it. Yep. Got it.
Okay.
All right. So Kristen wanted to say this about the microwave.
Oh, yes, it did. Oh my God, that thing.
Didn't we take the microwave, or we talked about it?
We
We
were
taking
gonna
the
swap.
microwave out of one room and putting it to the
It
other
just
room
didn't
where we
work.
were doing the after party.
It wouldn't work, and
Yeah.
we went to the front desk, or William went to the front desk and tried to get them to fix it, and they were like, nothing we can do, and turn it off, turn it on again. Worked.
Yeah, we have 3 separate rooms
It
at the
was,
hotel.
but it's like when you're hungry and you have a microwave and you have leftovers and you want to have those leftovers and the microwave won't work.
The frustration is real. I feel that.
Yeah.
So Paul also had to say this for you guys. Wondering if you could work with Kind. Yeah.
That is a resounding yes. That is a resounding yes. In fact, a scene is already written for George, and has been for about 10 months. And I talked about the next Avalon Universe Excalibur story being very big in scale, and I want George to be a part of that story. Yes. I love George. George is a fan film hero of mine.
All right. Keith added this. Want to know if you've read the book Inside Star Trek?
I haven't. No. I think a friend of mine has it though.
And Adam had to say this, that he's thinking for the kind words. We're getting a lot of comments today, which is great. Keith went on to ask about other fan films there.
Walker.
Again, yeah. There are a couple of different interesting answers to that question, because there may be a Babylon 5 reference in that big Excalibur film that I'm talking about. There's going to be a Babylon 5 reference there. And I do know that there are at least 2 fan film makers who are planning to do Stargate. Adam Mullen, I believe, has a Stargate script that Vance is going to be working on. And I don't know if the other one wants me to say that he's doing it, but I do know that another fan filmmaker who works directly with us a lot wants to do a Stargate fan film and is already writing the script. As for me, I do plan to venture outside of Star Trek exclusively. I have plans to do. There's a 1990s action show called Renegade that I'm going to do a fan film of that, and then I'm going to do. Wait for it, Walker Texas Ranger. I'll do a Walker Texas Ranger fan film.
Nice.
The original, right?
Huh? Yes. Oh, yes. Don't get me started on the new one.
Yeah. No, that's why I said that.
I'm already reading Keith's next question. I'm like, oh, I got this.
All right. You guys are cheating there. That's all right, though. Josh did say that you're welcome, and then we'll get to Keith's next question here. All right, Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not familiar with that film.
But what's that? Best film ever made. Best movie ever made. Love it. I got to see it in, they did I think Fathom Events did a special event in theaters a couple of years ago, and I got to go see it in a theater, which was just awesome for me. I've probably seen that movie more times than any other single film. And of course, the TOS episode Space Seed, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Which was actually my favorite Star Trek episode when you guys were talking about that Space Seed. I love Khan. So
here's a point of irony, though. You know, I'm this huge Star Trek fan, and I don't think. And if you're going to ask me what's the greatest movie ever made, I'm not going to say it's a Star Trek movie. I think it's Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And he's the Michael J. Fox impersonator.
And we get comments on the Avalon films. Oh, it's so great you got Michael J. Fox to be in Star Trek.
Captain
awesome.
Fly.
It can't be.
This is Heavy Spock.
I love it. All right.
I can't.
Paul said that was cool. Adam, I think he's down for more stuff there, guys. And
He's referring to his Stargate film.
Stargate film, yeah.
He has in the works.
I would love to see a Stargate film. I love Stargate SG-1.
Samuel Cockings I think he's made one. I'm not sure, but I believe he made I think he's made one.
Love this question of like what you're going to offer on your Patreon.
An autographed cast photo is a really good idea.
Sure.
Why not?
Yeah.
We're talking about everything at this point. We're throwing all the ideas out. So definitely appreciate the suggestion.
That's a good one. So all right,
Yeah,
let's throw a few pictures up here, guys.
We all need our own 8x10s and then
Yes.
I think we're going to be working on that tomorrow night.
Our own trading cards.
Trading cards.
This would be a good one to sign right here.
You can see, I alluded to this earlier. Tori Archer, who plays Jamie Archer, is very pregnant and is about to have her first kid, who they are going to name Stella. Her husband Nick is a big part of our production too. He's been doing a lot of behind the scenes videos for us, and he's done music for us in the past. He's starting kind of a video production, drone production business that's going to be really neat. And contrary to popular belief, I did not name the character Archer just because, I'm just going to give someone the same name they have in real life. I'd actually named the character something different. And when I decided I wanted to have Tori play that part, it made sense to be like, oh, you could have that be an Easter egg. That could be a Star Trek tie-in to have her be the great-granddaughter of Jonathan Archer. And so I just kind of went with that. And she was totally cool with it. So
That's awesome.
Very sweet. There's Isabella, who was watching earlier. Very great kid. She was so easy to work with and so patient with us. She was on set all day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trooper.
And she was so sweet.
Yeah, she was just so excited and bubbly, and then once cameras were rolling, she just did exactly what she was directed. I was like, wow, have you been to acting school? I was like, wow. Very impressive.
Or
she was the life of the party.
On screen, there was a point where she wasn't on screen for a bit, and they were shooting. And I was like, "Where's Izzy? Did we lose Izzy?" But she was just being so quiet. She just sat there doing her own thing, so quiet, so respectful of everything. I was just like, I need to find her. Panicked a little bit.
My kids would have never done that. So
my kids would have. One of them. My grandkids.
One of them.
Well, my oldest, the niece I raised or helped raise, she was just a hellion, at every age, and now she has 4 children who are hellions at every age, and I'm just like,
Hey, Matt.
So.
William.
Yes.
So tell us about this picture. What's this about?
William is like a friend of ours. He's also a immensely talented musician.
Yeah.
But he's also just a fun guy. He's an actor. He's a filmmaker. He's another one of those people that just does everything. And he's got several films himself that are unbelievably good. And he's about to do another one with Tyler and Sharmila in it as well. Yeah. And he came with us on the trip, I think, just for the fun of it. And so he was one of our actors. And, I wanted to have him in a couple of different outfits, and I wanted to give him a prop because, a lot of times you want to give an actor something to do. And so I was just like, oh, you got this giant coffee pot because it's, early in the morning and everybody's like, just got out of bed. So you're like walking down the hall, bringing everyone their coffee, and that's in that particular scene. That's all he was doing. And he did it very well.
That following Friday, Josh, we went with Sharmila and I and Pixie and Kristen went to Mariachi's, and that same thing was like hanging, was like either on the wall or it's like something they use to pour like water, or it's like a standard restaurant like supply thing.
I was going to say
we're like, that's the thing from that was William was drinking out of in the movie.
I was going to say that's about the amount of caffeine you need to work on a starship. So accurate.
Yeah. And then, of course, he was hamming it up in between
Oh,
takes
yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
The guy's just hilarious. I had the privilege of doing a 48-hour film festival project, or 48-hour film project with him a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago. And that was a lot of fun to do, and he's just an awesome guy. And so I was pleasantly surprised when we showed up on the morning to head to Georgia, and he was there, and I was like, dude!
Yeah, he took time off of work, and he just messaged me, and he's like, hey, I took some time off of work. If you don't mind me coming. I was like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
costume,
awesome.
That costume reminded me of Dr. Simon Geller in TOS.
It's the same costume, yeah. It's not the exact same one, but it's the same type of costume, yes.
Yeah, my concern with that last photo you showed is that, like if people don't realize that she's my wife, that could be like
inappropriate.
Yeah, but
He's talking about the hand on the butt.
yeah. Well, yeah, even the guys on set were like, HR issue. My hair. What happened to my hair?
So do we get this one autographed? Is that the one we're getting autographed?
If that's the one you want autographed, I'll send it to you. Okay, here's something interesting. The guy in the red shirt, his name is Aaron Peters, and not to be confused with Alec Peters.
Right.
But you do have a film where you have Alec Peters and Aaron Peters in the same film. It'll be odd because one will call me and then the other one will call me. So my phone will read Alec Peters and Aaron Peters, and Aaron's like, he's just a few letters away from greatness. But Aaron Peters was a local sports personality here in Arkansas for a very long time. He's been in the area about 20 years. And the funny thing is that I keep poaching these like people who have been in TV news here in Northwest Arkansas, and they end up in these Star Trek fan films. And he's like the third guy I've done this with. We've done it with my friend Jay Plyburn, who's been in a lot of these films, and or a lot of the films that our group has done, not just Star Trek, but in general. And then another guy named John Laws was in the third Avalon film, Demons, he was a weekend sports guy here for the ABC affiliate for a long time. So I just keep pulling these sports guys and putting him. My dad's a sports guy. He's in Ghost Ship, but he's just a voice. My ultimate goal is to get another TV news personality from our area in one of the films, guy by the name of Craig Cannon.
Craig Cannon.
That's one of my goals. We'll see if we make that work or not.
That's awesome. You got to use the resources that are out there.
This is
a good behind the
cool.
scenes look.
Yeah. It shows you, it's funny because like the amount of set that we have at Warp 66 is pretty much the same amount as a bridge set, pretty close to neutral zone. It's just the bridge sort of runs into a wall there. But we are working on, I'm going to help Glenn and Dan, and we're going to be building a totally new bridge set that, its lineage has deep roots in fan film history, but there's another bridge set that's being constructed that will be a full 360-degree bridge. And
wow. That's fantastic.
And it's going to let us do all kinds of neat shots. I want to mimic some of the shots from the Doomsday Machine where Kirk walks around all the way around the bridge. I want to do some shots like that on it when we get it built.
That's awesome.
This is very important. This is a big deal. And the thing is that I didn't realize how important this moment was when it was they're called the Bijou Awards. They're, of course, in honor of Bijou Trimble, who was the person who did the letter writing campaign at the end of the second season to keep Star Trek on the air for a third year.
Mm-hmm.
And the creator of this award show, I think his name is Eric Watkins. I think that's his name. Watts.
Eric Watts.
Okay, Eric Watts. So Eric, he's got a thing called Treklanta, and the Bijou Awards are part of that. And it's like the Academy Awards of Star Trek fan films. And right out of the gate, our very first film, Ghost Ship, won essentially Best Picture, best dramatic presentation in 2019. And I was awarded that on stage by Aaron Eisenberg a mere 2 months before he died. And my goodness, I just wish I had realized what an important moment that it was at the time, because I really admire him as a person, as a human being, as an actor. And I had no idea we were about to lose him. And so this is a moment that I really treasure.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, I wanted to be there for that. I couldn't get off work.
Work sucks.
Yeah, day job's getting away. What's up with that?
Yeah. So a great shot of a moment that's really important. And if you'll notice, there's a really cool person doing some sound work there, holding a boom mic.
Yeah.
Her name is Beck Hale, and she's a really, really groovy person. She is the daughter of my friend Earl Hale, who I've been friends with him for another person I've been friends with for 30 years. And he's a sound guy, and he's been teaching his daughter the ropes of how to do sound. And she's done sound for 2 films now and has just knocked it out of the park both times. The first time that she did sound for us was in a scene that took place outdoors. And so I figured that sound's going to be a lost cause no matter what. We're going to have to ADR that, which is, you go and you overdub it in post. No, it was the best audio of the film. It was rock solid. And so she's been just an invaluable part of the crew ever since she first showed up. And I couldn't be more happy to have her there.
Yeah, I spent some time watching her work, and I was very impressed, especially as young as she is, how well she was handling stuff and wearing the vest, listening to things, able to tell you exactly when she was getting feedback from mics. I was like, wow.
She was completely on point. And one of the things that I loved the most about what she did was you're doing a process there called sync sound. So you're recording your visual and your audio separately, and then when you get into the post-production process, you have to put them back together. And what she was really good about doing is knowing when the camera was rolling and when the camera was cutting. And so she keeps up with it point per point, so that you don't get like a mismatched number of recorded clips, and that makes it really a lot easier to sync them up in post. It saves you like days. And so her being on point with that, one, that saves the editor a whole bunch of time, but it also, like you were saying, if there was a problem with the sound, if there was clothing rustle or something, she would stop, she would mention it, she would make sure we got it taken care of. And what that does is that keeps the sound consistent, so that you don't have like a lot of really good sound, and then you have this one line that's all screwed up, and you got to go re-record just that one line, and it sticks out, it sounds weird. So she saved us a whole bunch of time just by doing those things. And sound is like, it is the difference between a good film and a bad film. You could have a film that's really beautiful, but it still is terrible because it has bad sound. And so sound is an element where you only notice it if it's a screw up. If it's good, it's just boom, you get immersed in the experience. You only notice sound if it's bad. And so it's a vital thing for a good sound operator to be there on set. And she's doing a heck of a job. And I think she's like 15. So, I mean,
Yeah, that
That's
apple
awesome.
far from the tree.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
All right, one more picture here, guys, and then we've got a few more comments.
Yeah.
So tell us about this.
The famous Jeffries tube that Scotty would always climb up to in the original show, and which, of course, they recreated at Neutral Zone Studios for Star Trek Continues. And we had the opportunity to use this in Ghost Ship, and we used it again for Cosmic Stream.
And it gets very hot in there.
Yeah.
Can I show the clip? I want to show the clip. We didn't send it to him, but Josh, you know the clip where she's coming out of the Jeffries tube.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, it only has the. Yeah, it's not. I mean, the word ass. That's not.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's good.
I can't send it to you. I'll just show it to you on my phone. Will that work?
Yeah.
We can try it. I'm not sure.
It's got the video.
Like every good D&D game master, dungeon master ever says, you can try.
Exactly.
Oh no, wait, it's on my TikTok.
Roll for it.
Okay, so.
I probably shouldn't let Tyler do this because he's not the most technologically inept person. Let me.
Yeah, that last step, as they say, that last what? The last step is a dookie.
Did you just get a shot of my ass as I'm coming down the stairs?
The issue there is that the costumes are very short and you don't have to bend over much for everything to be exposed. But we get around it with some modesty undergarments.
I mean, there's that.
That's true. That's awesome.
Like, I'm used to having models half naked in my house, so it's like, okay, whatever.
And that is true.
Larry has been to my photo shoots at my house. Like, come home and like 12 models sitting on my couch, all like topless. I'm like, what? Are you going to shoot today? Oh yeah, okay. That was my life for about 4 years. He's a photographer, so
it doesn't sound too bad.
No, it was always fun. Always fun. Do we have any more pictures, Professor?
Yep. Once COVID's done, we'll have to look at some photo shoots once we're all done. But with COVID, no, that's all the pictures we've got there. So let's throw out a few more comments, and then we'll probably wrap it up, guys. We appreciate you guys bearing with us. I know it's been an hour and a half, so
yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm glad. You guys are always welcome to come back on anytime we've got anything to promote. You just tell us and come on, and we're always happy to come to set also. Yeah, or if you just want to come talk Star Trek, we're always happy to do that.
Awesome.
Wright is referring to a fan film idea that he has that he's brought to me. It's a cool idea, and I'm going to do it at some point. And he's a Star Trek fan that has a cool idea for a fan film and reached out to me about it, and I'm like, why not? If you've got an idea and you want to play in the sandbox, this is open to everybody. I will take ideas. I'm not going to do everything, but fan films in general, that's open to everybody. Everybody can make a fan film, is what I'm trying to say. But he approached me with an idea that I liked, and so I was like, we should probably do this at some point. And then I'm going to be working on another Star Trek fan film called Republic. Which people have been talking about for a long time, and that film is now going to be an official Avalon Universe film as well.
Wonderful.
Which we'll be doing next year with Jim Von Doltrin.
Oh wow, you got projects lined up for forever.
Yeah, until I'm dead. And then Kristen's got me doing a lot of stuff outside of Star Trek films as well. I'm working on a post-production for a Western called Fear, Blood, and Gold, which is going to be a film that Apex puts out. And then we've got another film that we're going to shoot in about 2 weeks called Is Romance on the Menu? And it's going to be a romantic movie. And then,
Awesome.
and then we've got another like big project that we're going to try and do the tail half of this year. And, we've got the pleasure of working with an organization called Zeta 4 Films, which is owned by a friend of ours named Steve Lowry. And we're going to be putting some of our previous work out into distribution through Zeta 4 Films, a film that Tyler was in called Your Local News, which is a story about somebody's journey through learning what it's like to work in the local TV news industry. And a film called Rain that Tyler again just stole the show again, and made happen through nothing other than improv. I'd written a part for him in this film, and he read it and he's like, well, I don't know if this works for me. And I was like, well, what are you thinking? And he just transforms into this character, like right in front of me, right where we're talking about it. And I was like, do that. And so went back to the script, erased every line of dialogue, and just wrote Tyler Improvs. And Tyler improv this amazing performance that literally made the film. And so that's also going to be released by Apex through Zeta 4 Films. And so, yeah, we got a lot of crazy stuff going on. We're
Tori
starting.
Archer also in that film.
She
And-
is.
and-
She's
and-
and she she's the
And Jay Blackburn.
and Tori Archer's participation in that film is the reason she's in Avalon Universe, because she had this amazing attitude while she was there. I mean, I've never been so impressed with just somebody, proving that they want to be a part of something. While we were filming, she was there, whether she was in the scene or not. She was there the whole time. She was set decorating. She was getting us food. She was, you name it. There was one point where it's like 2 a.m, and we're doing this scene involving fake rain, and Tyler's like this homeless guy and he's walking through a rainstorm, and we had to get this shot, and of course it's not raining. We made fake rain. We used the garden hose.
It sure felt like it though.
we needed
I was under that hose for like 3 hours.
we needed somebody to climb a ladder and do the rain effect, and Tori was like, I volunteer as tribute, and she climbed the ladder at 2 a.m. and did this rain effect. And so because she was
Van Buren PD was like, hey, what's going on here?
they showed up and they asked us what we were doing. It's not a film unless the cops show up. And so just her attitude and her dedication was like, you need to have this person around. And so I invited her to be a part of Avalon Universe, and she's an invaluable part of it. She's been the life of the party on some of our shoots, especially this past time we shot.
She has a hard time keeping a straight face acting with me. I have a tendency to make her laugh.
Most people do, because you're not around. He sees an opportunity to make you laugh. He's taking it, which kind of,
Yes, she had
and
to start looking away from me at one point.
And speaking of attitude with Tori on this past shoot, again, she's like 8 months pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And she came and did a film with us. She shot 2 full, long shooting days with us pregnant.
9 months. 9 months.
9 months.
She's not supposed to deliver till 10 months.
Well, she's like, I think it's like 4 weeks away. She's within a month of it happening, 4 or 5 weeks.
9 months, yeah.
So she was there for 2 long shoot days, and she gives like the best performance she's ever given in one of our films. Like took direction like amazingly well, like really sacrificed to play the part and put 110% in it, and really blew us all away with what she was doing, to the point that we turned her into a GIF, however you.
Yeah, there were a couple of times we were filming, and she would be like, she would wince or something. I'd be like, hey, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, she's just up in my ribs. I'll be fine. It's cool.
She was a warrior. There's no other way of putting it.
Okay, I'm going to put Josh on the spot now.
Okay.
You filmed at Neutral Zone Studios on the bridge of Star Trek Continues.
Yes.
You've filmed on the Ares Bridge which is the bridge for Axanar,
Mhm.
and you filmed at Warp 66, which is the bridge for what was originally known as Phase 2, then became known as New Voyages.
Right.
So you've been on the 3 iconic Star Trek bridges when it comes to fan films.
Oh, I know where this is going.
Which is your favorite which is your favorite bridge to film on?
Well, it's actually been the 4 iconic bridges of Star Trek fan films, because the first bridge that you see at the beginning of Ghost Ship is the Exeter Bridge from the Trisarian intersection. Now, I would have to say my favorite. Well, gosh, this is a complicated question because it has a couple of different answers. All right. I really love the Ares Bridge because it's just a beautiful bridge in its own right. But the Warp 66 bridge, it's the iconic, Star Trek original series bridge. It's beautiful, and we've made a lot of memories filming there. And what's really neat about that one is that Dan and Glenn have given me a lot of flexibility in modifying it for shoots. And I've been able to change, with custom LCARs. For Legacy and for Air and Darkness, we had a thing we did where we shot 3 bridges, where it was the USS Excalibur bridge, it was the USS Athena bridge, which was an Ares class ship that was in the TOS era in the Avalon universe, and then it was the USS Chamberlain, which was a heavy dreadnought. And so we redressed the bridge 3 times to be 3 different ships. That was awesome. And I don't know if that's something anyone's ever done, is redress the bridge 3 times in one day. But we did that, and it was cool. The Neutral Zone Star Trek Continues bridge was the first bridge that I shot on. So, great memories there, shooting Ghost Ship and putting Tyler in that chair for the first time, and, shooting with our friends on the bridge, and just there it is, you're here. So I would say that they all have a special place in my heart for a different reason. I think that the Ares Bridge is beautiful and unique for what it is. I feel like that the Warp 66 Bridge is a place of fun memories that we've done really cool things at, and the Neutral Zone Bridge is is the first place we ever did it. So hope that helps.
If I can respond to that, John. What's really cool for me, and we were discussing this last night, Josh, in our group chat, all the different sets that are in Cosmic Stream. That's why I like Cosmic Stream so much, because all of those sets that you mentioned at the beginning of your question, John, Ares Studios, Warp 66, and Neutral Zone, and Alec Peters all appear in Cosmic Stream.
All 3 all in one film.
Yeah.
And I
wonder if that's been done before.
And I think
if that's a record or something.
And I think as an actor, it's important to remember as well. Once you're in the set and behind, in front of the camera with the lights and everything on, it's no longer just a set. You are on.
Yeah.
Especially you are on the ship, you are on the bridge, you are there. It's so well done. It's very immersive.
And that's a unique thing about the modern era of fan films is can you imagine 5 years ago saying that you're going to have a fan film that's shot on both the Star Trek Continue sets and the Star Trek New Voyages set and the Axanar set? How crazy is that? And then, of course, some stuff done at the with these Exeter sets too. So it's every set made for fan films has somehow been a part of Avalon Universe, which I think is really neat.
Now we just got to shoot in Ticonderoga, right?
You're not allowed to do that, but we've come as close as you can.
Fair enough.
Okay, guys. So let's give some information. We have all the links for everyone to the YouTube and to the Patreon. You've been talking about Kristen in Apex. So do we have a link to anything for?
We don't have a link for Apex. We do need to get one, so I'm happy to add that in, but we don't have one at the moment. Here's the Avalon Universe on YouTube. It is down below, so you guys can click on it down below, go right to that.
When you're there, though, guys, really important, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can see all of these projects that they've been talking about today.
And smash that bell for updates.
Yes.
You want to smash the bell, yes. Most definitely. Also, here's their Patreon account. Again, it's down below. You can click down below. It'll take you right there. You can sign up, and they're going to figure out some really cool stuff to give you guys. Maybe those autographed pictures. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but it'll be exciting.
It's a great way to support like this whole project and all the people who have been working really hard on this, and so that they can continue to make great movies for us to see. So be sure to go to that Patreon page.
And as Josh had said, it's not cheap to do this. He's spent $30,000 making these over the years. This is not something that is just easy. So if you guys are wondering, well, why are they asking for money? It's not so they can get rich. They don't have to pay the actors $1 million in episode contracts or anything like that. It's expensive to shoot. So.
I mean, it would amaze you how it racks up when you're buying Klingon Batleth swords and phasers and costumes, and then you're driving halfway across the country, or if you're just doing a 3-hour drive to, Warp 66, it adds up. And,
well, and as somebody who's built props in costumes for like theaters and stuff, just even if you do it yourself, even if you don't buy them, even if you make it yourself, the material alone is just, it's expensive, and things like that cost money. So let's keep, if you guys like what you see on their YouTube, be sure to check out their Patreon. That way you can support them and get some updates and get some perks and stuff like that. So always a good thing. Perks are a great thing.
Yes.
It's always good to have perks.
They are, right? I need more perks in my life. I'm just saying.
And more perks are coming. It's not just those two. There are more perks.
It's not just eye roll videos. You're going to get more than just.
Yes. They'll figure out some great perks. I'm sure. They're working on that now.
But if you want an eye roll video from Tori Archer, we've got you covered.
I mean, if you ever need to shut down a conversation or like an argument, we have the perfect gift for you.
Right.
Shpoo's probably going like, you don't need any more eye rolls in this house, but
believe me, you can eye roll enough that you give yourself a headache. Have somebody else do it for you.
Maybe my teenage daughter could get one of those. Actually, she's 20 now. What am I saying? Oh my gosh, I'm old.
I'd like to say something, if I can, of a personal nature. Just a huge thank you to Josh Irwin and Kristen. You guys are both amazing. I couldn't be happier to be back in Avalon Universe. I'm thrilled to be back, and thrilled to have Sharmila a part of it as well.
I'm thrilled to be there.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've become our own little family.
Yes, Avalon Universe is so much feeling like a family, because that's what it is.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's Tyler's way of saying the check is not in the mail.
I like it, John. I like it.
Oh, John. Okay, guys. So we're gonna wrap it up, but before we do, we always end our episodes with some throwouts and I don't even know what to say.
Shout outs to our friends.
Shout outs for our friends. Thank you, Professor. Oh my God. Okay, so we had Keith chime in with some great questions, but if you guys want to go over, check them out on Pop Culture Minefield. That's Keith and Gary, and that's on YouTube. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and that, what did you say? Smash that
bell.
Smash the bell.
And be sure to check them out. And they've been invited to go on that show. So be sure to check that out. They are so great. You don't have to worry about your language there, because Gary will say things so inappropriate all the time. And you'll see Keith do this.
I'm sure I can pass
happy. It's my favorite thing about their show, and I've told him that is just Gary cracks Keith up and he just starts laughing. It's wonderful. You guys are going to have a blast over there. Then you guys, we also have the Nerd Informants, Tim and Josh, over on YouTube and Facebook. They are wonderful and they have all kinds of reviews and everything. Tim is now my mentor at my real job, the one that actually pays the bills. So I appreciate them so much. And then you have the Scallywag himself, and he's coming in right here.
Yes,
man.
We have Spoo over at Scallywag Productions on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all kinds of stuff. And we have taken a couple weeks off from doing stuff.
Basically, this is now the third week with no videos, but this will also be the last week with no videos. Basically had a very close friend and someone who's part of the Scallywag family that passed away. So took some time off for that. And but yeah, otherwise starting next week we'll be back to doing videos every Monday through Friday. And yeah.
Little something for everyone. I am actually co-hosting on Tuesdays and Thursdays for a series of enigmatic events. I said it. You guys don't know. That's a thing.
I'm so proud.
He's so proud of me. But yeah, go check him out as well. And while you're there on all the YouTube channels, be sure to hit subscribe and on Facebook, hit like. It lets us know that we're doing a good job and that you guys are enjoying what we're putting out. Be sure to check us out at GeekyKOOL.com. We have our own website. We're also on Facebook and YouTube. And yeah, let us know what you guys want us to talk about. We do live every Tuesday, and we have all kinds of wonderful contributing writers. John, Ashley, Morgan just put out a great piece. Larry, they write all the time. And so we just cover everything you can imagine in the geeky world.
All right.
Awesome. I just went and subscribed to all of that. So
please do.
Do the same.
Oh, I just noticed Wright was asking, has the film come out yet? No, it has not.
It'll be like, I'm not going to give an exact date because that's always the kiss of death in the fan film universe, at least not for a while.
Page to find out when it comes out.
Yeah.
6 weeks or so.
So yeah, just be sure to follow them on Facebook and YouTube to find out when that's going to be released. But it should be early summer, before summer.
Yeah,
somewhere there. You know, we just always leave it like that. So
as it needs to be.
thank you guys so much for coming on, and thank you guys for having us down at the set on Saturday. We had a lot of fun.
That was a blast.
Thank you for having us on your show. Like,
of course.
Thank you so much. It's so much fun. And I'm glad you came.
Yeah. John, thanks for joining us. You know so much about the Star Trek fan films, and it was an honor to have you on our show with us. Since you write
we've had Ashley, but we haven't had you, so now we've had you on here too. So we're glad to have you, man.
And I'm available to come back whenever you want.
All right. Well, if there's something you want to come on and talk with us about, you let us know, John. If you're like,
right.
I should come on for that, you just let us know, man. So, and that's true for you guys also. If you guys have something you want to talk about, if there's some other movie, whatever, just let us know. We are happy to promote. That's part of what we're here for. So, all right, guys, that is all we've got today. It's a long episode, but very, very well worth it. We thank you guys so much. For those of you that have been watching with us, we've had up to 18 people watching at one point. We're still at 7, and you guys are awesome. You guys are rock stars for watching. Thank you so much. Stay geeky, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye, guys.
All right.